Hello guys, welcome to EduTap. I am your mentor Prakash. I am a company secretary and a law graduate, and I hope you guys are preparing well since your examination is about to be conducted on 20th February 2022. So this is the high time. You have to solve a lot of MCQs. That is why we are regularly conducting the sessions related to important MCQs. And today in this session, we are going to discuss the important MCQs related to part 11th of our Indian Constitution. We have already discussed the important MCQs related to previous parts of our Indian Constitution, which are the part of your syllabus. Those who have not watched those sessions, they can watch those sessions by going to the playlist on our YouTube channel. That is playlist. The name of the playlist is SEBI Grade A Legal Exam, right? So you can refer all the lectures related to important MCQs from there itself. So let's proceed, guys. So as you all are aware that we have launched Practice 5000 plus MCQ course for SEBI Grade A Legal Officer examination for paper 2, which will cover the entire syllabus of paper 2 for both phase 1 as well as phase 2. In this course you will be given chapter wise MCQs as well as you will be given 500 plus free MCQs. For that you do not need to pay anything. So guys, take advantage of these 500 MCQs and solve them, and if you feel it, if you find them suitable, then have this course. Otherwise you can continue without that also, right? So if you want to know about this course, the details, the charges, so you can refer the link given in the description box below. So guys, we have also launched a free 7 days starter pack in which you will be provided everything about the SEBI Grade A Legal Officer examination, like the profile of SEBI Grade A Legal Officer, salary, eligibility for this examination, syllabus, the book list, the important sources, etc, right? And those 500 plus free MCQs you will also be given as a part of this course, right? So you can access those 500 plus MCQs as a part of this course as well. So those who want to enroll for this course, the link is given in the description box below, and this is absolutely free. You do not need to pay anything for this course, right? And guys, those who are new here, they do subscribe our YouTube channel and join our Telegram channel to get the latest updates as well as the PDF of our YouTube sessions. Now let's proceed to the today's content. So question number first is, which of the following is not matched correctly? So your options are Rajmannar Committee 1969, Panchi Commission 2001, Sarkaria Commission 1983, Anandpur Sahib Proposal 1973, and none of the above. So which of the following is not correctly matched? You have to tell. First of all, you have to know that these all are related to center-state relations, right? So these all committees are were established as a part of center-state relations. So which of the following is not correctly matched? The right answer is option number B, that is Panchi Commission. So in April 2007, a 3-member commission headed by the former Chief Justice of India, M.M. Panchi, was set up by the UPA government to take a fresh look at relative roles and responsibilities of various levels of government and their interrelations, right? Now let's move to the question number second. So question number second is, a law made by Parliament having extraterritorial operation shall, your options are, not be deemed invalid, be deemed invalid, be deemed ultra-virus, be deemed intra-virus, or be deemed unconstitutional. So what is the right answer, guys? The right answer is option number A, that is not be deemed invalid. So the Parliament is a supreme and sovereign law-making body in India. It has power to make laws on the subjects enumerated in Union list, concurrent list, and on the state list as well, in certain circumstances, right? A law made by the Parliament can have extraterritorial operation if it has a direct connection with India or have the potential to affect India, to affect and impact the interest of India and its citizens. Right, guys? Now let's move to the question number third. So question number third is, if any directions are issued by the union government to a state and they have not been complied with, then which one of the following statement is correct? So your options are, it shall be presumed that the constitutional machinery in the state had failed as per Article 365 of the Constitution. It shall be presumed that the state had law and order problem and action under Article 365 is required. Next is, the union government can appoint advisors to help the governor for performing his functions. Option number D is, the Parliament may make laws for that state. And last option is, the Parliament may make laws for that legislature. So what is the right answer, guys? Read the question properly, then try to attempt that, right? This should be your idea, this should be your philosophy in everywhere, that is in on YouTube sessions as well as in your actual examination also. So right answer is option number A. It shall be presumed that the constitutional machinery in the state had failed as per Article 365 of the Indian Constitution. So if you read Article 365, you will find that where any state has failed to comply with or to give effect to any directions given in the exercise of executive power of the Union, under any directions given in the exercise of the executive power of the Union, under any of the provisions of this Constitution, it shall be lawful for the president to hold that a situation has arisen in which the government of the state cannot be carried on in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution, right? So being a law graduate, you have to aware about all these provisions because they are very important and they can be asked directly in your examination. Now let's move to the question number 4th. So question number 4th is a resolution passed by the Council of States under Article 249 empowering Parliament to legislate on state subjects in national interest remains in force for what period? So your options are not exceeding 6 months, not exceeding 2 years, not exceeding 1 year, not exceeding 2 year. Here it is 3 year, guys, 3 year, and none of the above. So which of the following is correct? So the right answer for question number 4th is option number C, that is not exceeding 1 year, right? So if you read Article 249, then you will get the same provisions related to this in Article 249 itself, which is related to power of Parliament to legislate with respect to a matter in the state list in the national interest, right, friends? Now let's move to the question number 5th. So question number 5th is which one of the following statement is not correct? Guys, read the question properly and first of all identify whether this statement is about correct statement, this question is about correct statement or incorrect statement. First of all, you have to identify, don't be in hurry, otherwise you will make mistake in your actual examination, right? So read the question properly, then move towards it. Your options are Parliament has exclusive power to make law on any matter in the union list. Parliament and state legislatures both have power to make law on any matter in the concurrent list. In certain exceptional circumstances, state legislatures can make law on a subject given in the union list. Parliament can make law on state subjects in certain circumstances or none of the above. So read the question properly. The question is about the incorrect statement. So which of the following statement is incorrect? The right answer is option number C, that is in certain exceptional circumstances, the state legislature can make law on subject given in the union list. State legislature cannot make legislation over the subjects mentioned in the union list, right? So this you have to remember. So thus Article 246 provides that the Parliament has exclusive power to make laws with respect to union list, state legislature for the state list, and the Parliament and state legislature both for the concurrent list, right? So state legislature will never get the power to make laws on the list, to make laws on the subjects given in the union list, right? Question number 6 is, in case of inconsistency between laws made by Parliament and the laws made by the state legislature, which one of the following shall prevail? So your options are the law made by Parliament before the law made by the legislature of the state only, the law made by Parliament after the law made by the legislature of the state only, the law made by Parliament before or after the law made by the legislature of the state, the law made by the legislature of the state only, and then same shall be decided by the Supreme Court. So which of the following is correct? The right answer is option number C, that is the law made by Parliament before or after the law made by the state legislature shall prevail, right? So the doctrine of repugnancy in accordance to Article 254 states that if any part of state law is repugnant or conflicting to any part of a central law which the Parliament is competent to enact, or to any part of a law of the matter of list 3rd, then central law made by the Parliament shall prevail and the law made by the state legislature shall become void to the extent of its repugnancy. Right, guys? I hope you got the point, guys. You have to attend these sessions. These are very important MCQs, and I will not be surprised if a lot of questions will be asked in the actual examination from these sessions itself. So that is why we are keeping it short. These sessions are around 15 minutes. So you have to manage. You have to You have to manage time, and you have to watch these videos, and you have to revise these MCQs as well before your actual examination, right guys? So that is why these sessions are being conducted for you, so that you can take advantage and can clear your examination. Now let's move to the question number 7th. Question number 7th is, which subject was transferred from state list to concurrent list by the 42nd amendment of the Constitution? Your options are agriculture, education, irrigation, local self-government, or none of the above. So what is the right answer, guys? The right answer is option number B, that is education. So the 42nd Amendment Act was enacted in 1976, reorganizing the 7th schedule to ensure that the subjects of the state list such as education, forestry, wildlife and bird protection, the administration of justice and weights and measure were transferred to the concurrent list, right? So this you have to remember, because 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act is very important. Now let's move to the question number 8th. So question number 8th is, under the Constitution, the residuary powers vest with the, your options are President, Supreme Court, Parliament, state governments, or the Speaker. So what is the right answer, friends? The right answer is option number C, that is Parliament. So the residuary powers of legislation are vested in Parliament. Article 248 clause 2 of the Constitution of India says that the Parliament has exclusive power to make any law with respect to any matter not enumerated in list 2nd or list 3rd, right? Now let's move to the question number 9. So question number 9 is, the union list contains how many subjects? Your options are 47 subjects, 100 subjects, 63 subjects, 92 subjects, or 82 subjects. So which of the following is correct? So the right answer is option number B, that is 100 subjects. So 7th schedule of Indian Constitution, if we talk about union list, then it had originally 97 subjects, but right now it has 100 subjects, right? So this you have to remember, and you have to comment, and you have to tell about the subjects contained by state list as well as concurrent list. So this is the homework for you. Those who will solve it, we will definitely show their name in our next session. So you have to make comment how many subjects are contained by state list as well as concurrent list. Now let's move to the last question of the day. So the last question is, under which of the following article of the Indian Constitution Parliament has no power to legislate on state list? So being a law graduate, you have to idea about these provisions because they are very much important. So right answer is option number E, that is Article 149. So your options were Article 249, 250, 252, 253 and 149. So the right answer is option number E. So if we talk about these articles, so in the Article 249 is related to the national interest. In national interest, Parliament can make laws on state subject, right? Then under proclamation of national emergency, which is a part of Article 250. If we talk about Article 252, then it is related to by agreement between states. Then if we talk about Article 253, then it is about to implement international treaties. And if we talk about Article 149, so it is related to duties and powers of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So it is nothing related with the power of Parliament to make laws on state subject, right? So that is why this answer is correct, right? So I hope you got the point. I hope you learned a lot, and you have enjoyed the session, and you have learned a lot, guys. So we'll meet in another important session. Till then, goodbye and have a good day, friends.